Hey everybody, welcome to another video review by CigarFellas.com. My name is Moose.
I'm Trident.
And today we are going to do the Liga A. As the plane flies over, just in case you missed it, the Liga A. I'm going to let Trident do a little bit of talking about this one here.
So, I'm sure a lot of you are already aware what the Liga A is. The Liga A is part of the unique series that Liga Privada puts out. And really the only way to get a hold of a Liga A is to be handed a Liga A by Jonathan Drew. You know, when he comes to the Liga Privada events that he does at different shops, he brings an X amount of the Liga A boxes, and inside a box, if you can tell, there's actually 2 Liga A's in each box. And again, really the only way to get one is if he hands you one of the boxes. They're not for resale, you know, not really secondary market, but if you're lucky enough to get one, make sure you enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there is no doubt this is one of the most sweet, floral smelling cigars that I have ever placed underneath my nose. It is just unbelievably wonderful smelling. I mean, just...
Yeah, I mean, it's delicious, just the smell of it right off the bat. You know, like you said, floral, I get a little bit of cedar and maybe a little cocoa note under it, but a lot of floral and a lot of woodsy to it.
It's so delicious smelling. And I just personally, for one, I'm not going to wait much longer to fire this puppy up.
Right. We're actually pairing this one with Lagavulin, 16 year. It's one of the Isla Scotches, and you know, it's a little bit of peat underneath it, so if you guys like that sort of smoky flavor to Scotch, or even if you don't, that's actually a good way to get into tasting what the peaty note in Scotch is. This one is actually the one that introduced me into liking a lot of the peatier Scotches. Again, it's a light peat, but a lot of great flavors, so I'm going to go ahead and start toasting it and fire it up.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know if any of you picked up on that, but I actually had my flame quite close to the actual foot of this cigar. And I know some of you may have been like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? But let me tell you, the last one of these that I smoked was handed to me by Jonathan Drew himself, and that is exactly how he lit this cigar. Roman was there, and he had one as well. So, I mean, if everybody wants to complain and say we're doing it wrong, I don't know, man. Take it up with JD first, and if he tells me I was doing it wrong, then we'll switch. And the next one I smoke, I won't do that too. But
right, exactly. Just on the pre-light already, I mean, you can tell that it's smoking just like all the other Ligas. I mean, I hope you guys can see that, but you know, I've barely hit it with the flame, and it's already putting out a ton of smoke. The smoke is a sweet smoke, you know, just on that initial pre-light. So I'm looking at firing them up completely and seeing what it's like.
Yeah. As always, I am going to be using my Zycar scissors. It is just my favorite method of cutting most of my cigars.
And I'm using the XI cutter. Again, it's just my preferred method, so. Now, just the initial pre-draw, actually, before lighting it, it's a little tighter than most others, and that's because of the A size. I mean, you guys can see how tall that is. I mean, it's literally like 9 inches tall. And, you know, that draw, I mean, you gotta, you know, draw it from the end, so again, you gotta work a little harder to get it through, but there's not much resistance, it's just a little tighter draw.
Yeah, and actually, I actually found this one to be right about exactly where I wanted it. And you know, and obviously from cigar to cigar, you know, just the way that they were rolled can obviously be different. The tobaccos inside. I actually find that this one is actually not tight at all. It's actually, if anything, just right for me. Now, without taking a hit of Trident's cigar, I'm never going to know exactly the difference between what he feels and what I feel. So I can only assume that they're relatively close. But you know, typical Liga smoke, I mean, this thing is just billowing. You know, if we had 4 or 5 of these going, the fire department would be outside, I'm sure of it. But very smooth, slightly spicy retrohale, nothing too overpowering at all.
thing is, it's not like any Liga I've smoked, and I've smoked pretty much the entire line minus those super rares that you only get on the Cigar Safari and things like that.
Right.
It's not like the other ones. This one is blended a little more. It's actually a little sweeter, I think, than a lot of the other ones. Not really like it's a woodsy type sweet. Little hint of floral on the retrohale, but the flavor is right on the tip of my tongue with that woodsy type smoke.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's a little bit of cedar in there. Definitely floral notes through the retrohale. Slightly sweet, but just on the edge of perfection, to be honest with you. It's just very pleasant to retrohale this cigar.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is starting off delicious. I'm, a little centimeter into it right now, just to get some of these flavors and things going on. But, it's, so far it's great.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I would say the finish on this is actually very clean for a cigar of the Liga brand. Most of the Liga 9 or the T52, things like that, generally have a tendency to leave more of a spicy finish in my mouth. I don't really get that from this. This is very, like I said, very clean. There's no doubt that JD and the crew really took some time to develop a very special cigar when they made the Liga A.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a smooth finish. I mean, it's almost like creamy smoke. I mean, you get a lot of flavors right on the initial hit of it, and they sort of just mellow in your mouth as you're letting that smoke go, and as you push it through the retrohale, it's just adds each bit that you do. That retrohale adds to the smoke flavor that's in your mouth, and I mean, it's delicious.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. So we say we smoke a little bit of this, and we'll come back with some more stuff on the Liga A.
We'll see you in a few.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So here we are. We're, I don't know, right around a third of the way through this Liga A, and I mean that's saying a lot when it's still that much long. Still got that much length on it. But I did find that we definitely got some changes in some flavors there. For a while there, it kind of went a little heavier, as we discussed. It got a little more less sweet, I should say, and then it kind of started coming back into the sweetness. And we were actually just having a conversation about the roasted flavors that we had found, and I was actually leaning more towards like a roasted nut or a roasted caramel or something like that. And Trident actually was saying that he got more roasted coffee, which, if you kind of look at the flavor wheel, which we started looking at the flavor wheel and things like that, they're very similar. They're side by side. It's really, I think we both agree that it's definitely something roasted.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's definitely a roasted base. Maybe a little bit of peat under there. That may be from the Scotch as well, but I think it's actually from the cigar with the peat that's picking up, because the Scotch actually isn't all that peaty, but it goes really well with that undertone, gives it a little more extra roasted flavor to it, and that's, I think, where you get the caramel and the coffee type. It's not really espresso; it's more of like a morning coffee type flavor. The smoke still smells delicious. The retrohale adds a little bit to everything that you feel in your mouth. The flavors are right on the tip of your tongue, like prancing around all over my tongue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this cigar is just so. It's got a lot of complexity to it, and we could sit here and try to, give all kinds of explanations for all the minute little flavors. But all in all, I would say it's definitely an earth-based, leaning more towards peat in the earthy tones. It's still got some sweetness to it, which could be either, the caramel or the coffee. It's very smooth. It's amazingly smooth. The retrohale on this is very exciting, actually, for me. My nose is just going crazy every time I retrohale. And me personally, I don't like to smoke a cigar without a retrohale. I'm just one of those people. I know a lot of people out there are like, I don't even retrohale. Let me tell you, you're missing a ton if you don't retrohale. I'm not saying you got to do it every time. I happen to, but definitely if you're not retrohaling, you are missing a bunch of wonderful flavors from these cigars.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It is very complex if you don't retrohale. I just did probably 5 or 6 puffs, not retrohaling at all, just to see what it did. And, you know, it's still a very complex cigar. You still get a lot of those flavors. You miss a little bit of those undertones that they said you get a little bit of that peaty and, you know, sweetness to it. But it's still very complex. So even if you don't retrohale, still a great cigar.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. I mean, either way, it's a great cigar. But, I don't know. I mean, my burn is spot on. My ash is great. You know, I mean, I'm knocking my ash off only because I don't want to wear it. But outside of that, how about we hit a little bit more and we'll come back with some more of this.
Sounds good.
Liga A. Hey everybody, welcome back. So here we are at the end of our Liga Privada A's, and what is the official time here?
Well, so far we're 2 hours and 25 minutes into this cigar.
And let me tell you, it's been the best 2 hours and 27 minutes, have you said? 27 minutes of this week by a long shot. This is an amazing cigar. The actual flavors I'm getting now, as I was actually going up to turn on the camera, is more of a sweet cedar now. I'm getting a lot of the cedar, and you know, ironically, if I really stop and think about it, you know, cedar is kind of a sweet smelling wood as it is. So it's, you know, with my retrohale and things like that, you know, that potentially could be where I'm picking up this cedar flavor from. But no doubt about it, it's definitely, for me, it's gone back to the sweeter side, back to the cedary. Still got the earth tones in there, you know, light earth tones, but man, what an amazing cigar.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. I actually pick up a little bit of semi-sweet chocolate. That was more so at the beginning of this final third of the cigar, which it's sort of a little, it's subsided a little bit actually, and like I said, going back to the woodsy notes of the cedar, that roasted coffee flavor is still there, but only a little bit. And you pick it up with the retrohale, the same with the semi-sweet chocolate, but the predominant flavor in my mouth right now is like a woodsy, like a sweet woodsy type flavor. That tight draw that I was telling you about at the beginning, about halfway through the cigar actually just turned into just a perfectly smooth cigar. And again, I'm relating it to it being 9 inches long, and you know that, you know, it's, you got a long way to work that smoke through, so that's what I attribute it to.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, man, I'm really just tickled pink to be able to, you know, have been able to review this cigar, and you know, to be fortunate enough to have smoked more than one, and it's great. I mean,
Yeah, it's a fantastic cigar. If you guys are, like I said, lucky enough to get your hands on one or have a JD event, go there, see if you can, you know, get a couple or get one, and you know, try it out. Let us know what you think. I mean, it's a great cigar. Again, it's on the rarer side of the unique series that they put out, but it's definitely worth the effort of picking it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember that you can always continue to follow us at cigarfellas.com. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/cigarfellas. Our official watch for the reviews is the Vermont. That's www.vermont.com. You know, I'd definitely like to give a shout out to Zycar. Thanks for, you know, kind of dealing with us for a little bit here. We are definitely huge Zycar fans, both of us. And, you know, by all means, please, and I know, broken record, man, you guys probably turn off my videos at this point, but I know that there are a lot of people out there that, maybe this is the first Cigar Fellas video that you've actually seen, but cigarsforwarriors.net, I really just can't stop pushing those guys enough. It's such a wonderful cause. It's such a worthy thing to do. Just check them out. Make your own decision. Decide what you can do. If you can't do anything, at least you know about the company themselves. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And, you know, to all the warriors out there fighting overseas and even here in the States for our freedoms and, you know, all the things that we take for granted, you know, we can't thank you enough. We appreciate it every day, you know, and, you know, please come home safe. Outside of that,
Yeah.
I'm Moose.
I'm Trident.
We'll catch you next time at cigarfellas.com.